And I think of it that the world and the world of macro is a 3D jigsaw puzzle that's ever changing. And no one person can solve it on their own. You need to gather component parts and different perspectives from other people. I've spent a long time thinking about money, about the economic system, about all of the narratives that come about the 1930s, about the 1970s, about how the system failed in 2008. I listened to the gold investors' viewpoints about hard money. I listened to the crypto investors about a new system or a new form of money. And most of us can get to a point of agreement that things are broken, that there's too much leverage and not enough growth, and that the increasing leverage causes slower growth.
Wait a minute, everyone. We all agree that the crypto market never sleeps, but with countless newsletters out there, how do you choose the best one for you? Bitcoinzilla stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoinzilla today and enjoy the new edge. In today's video, Raoul Pal explains why crypto is the largest wealth-generating machine humanity's ever been given, and how we can get the best benefits from it. Raoul gives us his strategy to survive the next market cycle. So without wasting any time, let's dive into the video.
I think that's absolutely right. Again, it's understanding the system we're in, not the system you want. I see this a lot particularly in Bitcoin, which is as equally hardline as the gold community.
Yep.
And they're very proud of a deflationary money. But it's very, very difficult to operate any system with a deflationary money because it just creates hoarding. And with that,
I actually think you did. Yeah, I think you probably, at least for a period of time, and maybe that period of time gets worked out over time and then it becomes a better system, but for a period of time, a deflationary currency would actually increase inequality as opposed to decrease it.
I agree.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of how much you hold of it because you get richer every year. In purchasing power terms, it also just sucks money out of the system. So that's not perfect in itself. For it to exist, for gold to exist as ways out, even to build a new system on, that's okay. But I don't think you're ever going to get round the issue. I don't think, and we've seen it, one of the things, the observations about the crypto market was exactly the same as the gold market. In fact, I just copied it from the gold market, was that we are humans and we love leverage. If you give us something that has collateral value, we will create leverage on it and make the supply inflationary. It is what we do for a living. But just as human nature. And so we will recreate that. Even if we went back to a gold standard tomorrow, we would just leverage the shit out of it until it blew up.
In a sudden decision, investment firm 21 Shares submitted a filing to the Securities and Exchange Commission in the late afternoon of Friday, May 31, to rename its proposed spot Ethereum exchange-traded fund, ETF, and to remove ARK Invest from the application. A spokesperson for ARK Invest later confirmed the firm decided not to move forward with the crypto product, citing a need to reassess its investment strategy. The move raised concerns among the crypto community concerning the short-term viability of the newly approved ETF. During an interview on June 5, United States Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, Chair Gary Gensler suggested a delay in final approvals for asset managers. ETF will take some time, said Gensler. The SEC has yet to sign off on S1 registration statements from applicants. ARK Invest and 21 Shares will remain partners on their spot Bitcoin ETF, launched in January. This week's CryptoBiz also explores Galaxy Digital's tokenized loan for Animoca Brands, Avail's fundraising, the Topazware acquisition, and Bitcoin miners' first reports since the halving. The largest cryptocurrency had endured sudden volatility at the prior Wall Street, opened thanks to what was labeled schizophrenic United States employment data. This was then compounded by a rout in altcoins, which came courtesy of market reactions to a live stream by pseudonymous investor Roaring Kitty. It was confusing enough to trigger a risk-off ahead of U.S. inflation numbers and FOMC next Wed. It wrote in part of its latest update to Telegram channel subscribers. QCP referenced next week's macro data prints, which include the Consumer Price Index, or CPI, along with the Federal Reserve meeting to determine interest rate policy. Followed by a Roaring Kitty live stream, which had almost 1 million viewers, during which GME stock price crashed. It continued. It was probably not a coincidence that alts and memecoins started collapsing as well, with over $40 billion wiped in market cap. The firm nonetheless saw local lows on BTC and ETH as a good opportunity to buy the dip, based on future Fed moves potentially benefiting risk assets.
And that the US dollar is the most important part. And there is a structural issue with a shortage of dollars that requires the world's non-US banks to issue more dollars to supply dollars, because there's then a shortage of paying for the dollars, right? Everyone's got to pay the interest on the dollars. The more debt there is, there's more interest payments. They don't have dollars. They can't create dollars. They either have to borrow it from the US or they have to create yet more dollar liquidity. And you raise a profound point. It took me a long time to understand it. You should reread the Crisis of Global Capitalism by George Soros. The Asian crisis, he said, the crisis starts in the periphery and ends up in the core. And I didn't really understand. It sounded very smart, so I just repeated it many times. But basically, here was the problem of the Asian crisis of these foreigners in the Eurodollar market had borrowed too many dollars. Their economies had started slowing. They now couldn't pay the dollars, and they all blew up. Eventually, it had ended up having contagion that kind of felt its way through the developed world. You know, the Swiss banks blew up and a whole bunch of stuff. Another thing for people to understand what you're saying is there's an expression that, again, people don't understand because it's an expression, which is when the US catches a cold, you know, the world gets flu or whatever it may be, right?
Yeah.
Or the US sneezes and the world gets a cold.
That's right.
Again, because even if the US doesn't know it or understand it, it is the primary operator of everything. It's part of this global reserve currency. And this is why I talk about global liquidity and why it matters so much. Because it's all one.
It's all that matters. It's really all that matters.
It's all it is.
It's a
system. And when the US last year in 2022 started withdrawing liquidity, everybody else can withdraw liquidity from their own stuff. It's not great. Economies slow down, stuff like. When the US takes liquidity, right? First, markets fall because it's this debasement or rebasement of currency. So you're making the dollar stronger because you're taking those hard dollars out, as you said. So that makes asset classes prices fall. The dollar goes up, but then over that period, things start blowing up. First, it was actually the regional banks in the US. Not normally a US thing first, but it so happened. Then it was Credit Suisse. Then it was the fucking dollar yen. It's all the same issue.
Former United States President Donald Trump is intensifying his cryptocurrency advocacy as part of his 2024 presidential campaign, now proclaiming his goal of becoming the crypto president, according to a recent Reuters report. Published on June 7, citing sources familiar with the matter, Trump reportedly declared he would be the crypto president at a fundraising event in San Francisco hosted by general partner of Kraft Ventures, David Sachs, and tech billionaire Chamath Palihapitiya. The event reportedly helped Trump raise $12 million to support his promotional efforts, leading up to the U.S. election on November 5. Trump also reiterated his support for crypto and his plans to push the industry forward, while pointing out the Democratic Party's intention to take the opposite approach with harsh regulations, which the crypto industry in the nation commonly refers to as regulation by enforcement. Comes only a week after current U.S. President Joe Biden received backlash from the crypto industry after vetoing a resolution that would have overruled the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) Staff Accounting Bulletin (SAB) No. 121, controversial crypto accounting guidelines that requires institutions that custody crypto assets to record crypto holdings as liabilities on their balance sheets. This follows several recent public declarations by Trump showing his support for the crypto industry. Our country must be the leader in the field. There is no second place, Trump declared in a May 25 post on Truth Social, a social media platform owned by Trump Media and Technology Group. I am very positive and open-minded to cryptocurrency companies and all things related to this new and burgeoning industry, he added. And do not forget to subscribe to Bitcoin Seller. The most important news will reach your inbox on a daily basis and for free. I do not know why you have not subscribed yet. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing.